Once again, happy Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year. There's something I want to talk about that will affect the entire nation of Nigeria in year 2026. I am going to talk about it by putting it in a story form. And if you can listen to this story to the end, you will understand what I am talking about. It is something that will affect every individual, whether you like it or not. Whether you are poor, you are rich, it will affect you if it is put to work. Story. My story goes this way. There was a year, there was a time, a leader came up in Nigeria. And when he was there, at first he became a vice president by luck, I will say. Because there's a particular part of this nation, Nigeria, that never wanted that part that this man came from to get to that level in government. Because they have always wanted to always remain in power. Whatever concerns power is like it is their father's name. So in this story, the man by luck, he became a vice president. He started from being a vice president, a vice governor in his own state. From there, by luck, he became a governor, and by luck, he became a vice president. And by luck, before they knew it, he became the president of Nigeria. The story is still going on. And when he became the president, this whole group of persons who have always wanted to remain in power until Nigeria end, they were so angry. And this man, the only thing he can think of was to remove subsidy. And at that time, so many persons, and even from the side he came from, were against him. And when he looked at it, he said, okay, the subsidy, wait. And you know what happened? He was there until after a lot of threats from this part of the nation that has always wanted to be in power, the man became afraid. Even his own people called him Umaraba. Out of fear, the man was even concentrating on the part where he never came from in terms of development. He forgot his own side of the nation that he was supposed to have developed with his opportunity. He never knew that the second chance will not be given to him. Eventually, a man from the part that has always wanted to remain in power took over power. And when he took over power, he started threatening all the strong men, all the incumbents of the federal government. And when he was threatening them, some of them were even submitting the money that they stole in previous years of their time of reigning. Some submitted money. Even a particular strong ex-president submitted 20 million. I was so surprised. I said, what? Others the same thing. So this man initially was like, the Moses of Nigeria have arrived. He threatened the whole of the federal government incumbents. All the senators were scared. My brother, my sister. But along the line, suddenly, the story changed. That is for you to know that whatever that is good in this country, they must try anything to bring it down. Actually, initially, the man wanted to act to end corruption was his mission. But could you believe that after a while the news came that this man was dead? And after that, even pictures, videos were sent, but the incumbents rose against it that there is nothing like that. The whole of the nation was like confused. Who to believe and who not to believe. And after that, suddenly, the man came, and even his tomb could no longer open his door. And the whole of the citizens of the nation became suspicious at the whole thing, that it's like this man actually died. But nobody can say anything about it. Because the incumbents have done what? They sat on top of the news. They said nothing happened. And when your leader said nothing like that, who to believe and who not to believe? The people became confused. And the man, immediately he returned in form of him and in form of not him. He were no longer like he used to be. All the threats became silent. All the end to corruption, silent. Corruption began, and it become, in fact, excess than the way it used to be. And after a while, his government ends. And another man came that, yes, it's my turn. Whether Nigeria like it or not, I must be what? The next president. Story is still on. And when this man became the next president, at all cost, even in his own expression, his own speech, in his speech he said, I know you never voted for me, but I am now your president. You know, the whole nation was like water was poured on them. And lo and behold, it was a man that was so popular. The whole of the nation were so much in love with this man, but unfortunately, the man could not win the election because an incumbent rose up against him and took over the power at all cost. And when he came in, he announced it even before he came in that once he resumed power, he would be removing subsidy. And the subsidy became removed automatically at the beginning of his reign. The subsidy became removed. And till today, this particular nation, the so-called leaders, they cannot give an account of what they do with the subsidy. When the subsidy was there, the subsidy was meant to make it easy for the common man to afford fuel. It also make it easy for transportation to be affordable. But unfortunately, the subsidy became a problem to the leaders. and they gang up to remove the subsidy. And the nation they find themselves into a bigger mess than when the ex-president was there. Even when they thought that past president was tougher and things were bad, and this one that came up became worse to the nation. My brother, my sister. And now, the year 2025 is coming to an end. And towards the ending, another news is coming again that is called taxation. And now the taxation that we are talking about, listen to me. I am now on top of what I want to nail upon. The essence of this story is for you to tell you that the taxation is going to affect every man, whether young or old, whether poor or rich, except if you are not ready to earn more than 800,000 naira annually. And I want to remind you that if you are a citizen that is still looking at the target of earning 800,000 naira in a year, it means you are among the most wretched of this nation. Because 800,000 naira is not even up to a rent. It's not up to a yearly rent. It's not even up to a monthly rent to some person's apartment in our country. So if that happens to be your annual income, it means you have not started. In other words, the taxation is meant to affect everybody, whether young or old, whether poor or rich. It's going to affect everybody. I know that what I'm talking about now, you people may not understand it now, but we are all keeping quiet. Everybody is folding their hands because it hasn't gotten to their table. It hasn't gotten to their doorstep. But this one will visit everybody in a very special way. Because by the time you sleep and wake up and you see that a particular amount was deducted from your account, it will become a big mess to you because you work hard for your money. There are some businessmen, they work day and night just to earn a living, to make money, to make this good for their family and themselves. Then at the end of the day, somebody will just remove this money without even making a good use of it. I am not against the taxation because it is one of those things that make great nations to become great. But what I'm against is that since they could not do anything with the subsidy, remove her. Remember that they are going to do nothing with the tax. You know why I'm making this video? I'm making it because it will be very painful when your hard-earned money is being seized by the government, all in the name of tax. Like I mentioned before, taxation is one of the major factors that has helped developed nations that you heard of today, such as US, UK, Canada, some other developed nations. It is a major factor that has helped them to grow to that level. They were able to succeed in it because they utilize it very well to develop the nation, to make every citizen to be happy. But like you know, in Nigeria, in our country, here, you will always see embezzlement, and it will be very painful that your hard-earned money is being jeopardized with. Many businessmen, like I mentioned earlier, they don't sleep even in the night just to put things right. They don't like to see that your money is being deducted from your account and it's not making any meaning to yourself or to your generation or even to your country. So it is going to be very, very painful. If you look at the subsidy removal, it brought a lot of pain to the people. They suffered from the story I told you. The people of the country, they suffered. It was not easy for the ordinary man. Even the rich, sometimes, they complain more than the poor. For you to know how far it went deep into the nation. And it affected many who were struggling to eat. Some have changed their normal routine of 3 square meal to 2 square meal. Some even work with 1 square meal in this nation. What are we trying to say? Please, I want you to not just listen to this talk, but listen to the analysis of the taxation. You will see how it is analyzed, how the tax will be paid. It is going to be a kind of, whether you like it or not, the money will be removed. Just like us, when you make transaction, it's not quite long ago. They brought this transaction of, once it's more than 10,000, that is 10,000 and above, they remove 15 naira. They deduct 15 naira from your account. Straight. That is the same thing that is going to happen. So you cannot dodge it. Unless you are not going to make use of a liquid currency. But how far can you go with only hard currency? That's going to be a kind of problem to you who is a businessman. What about you who is a salary earner? There's no how you can do without liquid currency. So, my dear people, my dear followers, my dear friends, my relatives, I really want you to watch this video that I'm going to show you to the end, so that it will not take you unaware. Watch this video and see the clear analysis of the tax that is going to be imposed on every individual from January.
For those of you who do not understand how much tax you will pay to the government from January 2026, if you really want to know what will happen to every money you earn from January or any money that comes into your account, this one no be tithes where you know they pay. This is tax and you must pay. Don't skip this video if you really want to understand your tax payment.
Tonight's meeting has been themed the Nigerian Tax Summit because on the 1st of January 2026, a new tax law will go into effect in our great nation. And as a kingdom church, raising kingdom ambassadors, kingdom millionaires and billionaires, we need to position ourselves, because we are not just talking to you about paying tithes in millions and hundreds of millions and billions. We're also talking to you about paying tax in millions. So you give up to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So we put together what we call question and answers on the new Nigerian tax law, and I have some panel of professionals that have joined in making sure we put this together. I'm just representing them to vote, and then we'll take your questions tonight. Amen. Hallelujah. So question and answers on the new Nigerian tax law, specific focus on individuals and small business. So we put it together in a Q&A format so that we can just deal with different aspects. Question 1 says, when will the new Nigerian Tax Act take effect? So when is it starting? It's starting on the 1st of January 2026. So the new Nigerian Tax Act goes into effect from what? 1st of January 2026. Number 2, which specific individuals does the tax law apply to? Are there people that this law applies to? Are there people that it does not apply to? Well, the answer is simple. It applies to all individuals that earn income in Nigeria. So whether you are workers, content creators, remote workers, influencers, traders, a controversial aspect was brought out when they said even Ronsgare will pay tax. No, and they said that is it 6 billion or 600 billion? One ridiculous money that they said that they calculated how much was made in Lagos alone. I think it's 60 something billion or 600 something billion. Very ridiculous. No, it's amazing. Somebody's patronizing them. So no matter what you do, as long as you earn money in Nigeria, you're going to pay the tax. And then Nigerians earning income abroad, if they are tax residents in Nigeria. So what this means is this: if you are residents in Nigeria and you make money abroad, so you have properties abroad, you have investments abroad, when your properties or investments abroad, when they bring in money, you will pay the tax of that money in Nigeria. Because you are not paying tax in those countries. But because you are residents in Nigeria, you will now pay that tax. So that means as you are entering January, don't try to be secretive, because they are linking NIN, BVN, everything is going to be linked together. And then they are connecting with the international platform, with every commercial nerve center all over the world. And there is now information sharing. So it's better for you to by yourself go and say, I have a property in Kenya, I have a property in Swaziland, I have one property in London, this is how much I made. So if you don't have an accountant, this is the time for you to get an accountant, a tax consultant. Don't try to be stingy and say, I'm not paying professional. Pay, so that you will not pay. Number 3, will transfers and deposits into my bank account be taxed? You know that there is COT and bank charges and all those stuff, POS charges. So they are now saying, will transfers and deposits into my bank account be taxed? No. Moving money around via POS, transfers, deposits, or withdrawal is not a taxable event. What is taxed is income earned. So that somebody pay into your account now, say, okay, I paid money, help me send this money to this person. It doesn't mean they are going to come and tax you because the money entered your account. Do you understand? It is not an earning, it's a transaction. So what it means is that you have to now be careful about people say, give me your account, help me transfer this money and send this money to this person. Because at the end of the day, by the time they look at, there are none of you that are collecting money, you want to boost your account for Visa. By the time they now look at the turnover and the money that has gone through your account in the year, they might say they want to come and audit you and confirm whether it is really your money. So those of you that say, me, I'm not an accountant, I don't like mathematics, I don't really like calculation. You have to like calculation now. And this is not the time to be doing cash. This is the time for you to actually have everything done online. Use your ATM so that everything will be there. You'll be able to remember. And when you are sending money to someone or collecting money from someone, this is the time to ensure that it is well. So you can now say, okay, loan to this person, or money they say we should share for Papa's burial. You know, those of you that they use your account to collect money, you will now say, okay, everybody, Brother James is getting married. Let us pay into Sister Carol's account. And you are Sister Carol and they are paying money into your account for somebody's birthday. You better have the definition, birthday, so that you will now put it together and you will transfer it. Number 4, will the money I keep in my bank account be taxed from 2026? It means that if I leave money in my account now, will they now come and say, this person get money, maybe we collect something? No. Just having money in your account is not taxable. Only the income you earn, like salary, business profit, or interest, is what can be taxed. So the question then is, how do we know how the money entered your account? How do we know if it is not a salary or a business? That's why you must have record. So those of you that don't keep records of income and expenditure and have descriptions of the transactions in your life, you may end up becoming a pawn. Because you know that every time there is a law in Nigeria, there are criminals in government that want to now capitalize on that one to defraud people, to terrorize people, to make life difficult for people. That's why we are telling you all this is now, so that you'll be ready, because many of the government agencies and government parastatals, they don't have any record. Hello? Number 5, I'm a student with no job. Will I pay tax in 2026? No. If you have no taxable income, you will not pay tax. So what is taxable income? Hello? That is income that you earn that is a profit or a return on investment or a salary. Then it will be taxed. Will tax authorities now monitor bank accounts of businesses more closely? Yes. They will now monitor you. They are now monitoring spirits. I hope you know that there is what they call skumulu. So now you have to now have that. And what that means is that every transaction in your business that is above, is it 5 million or 10 million, whatever, every week you have to be sending it to them in the FCC. Every week is a law. And in your company, you must have a compliance officer that is representing government. You will use your money to employ your class captain, and you'll be paying the person. So every company, you must have the school, then you must have a staff that you will be paying salary. You go to pay up. You will now introduce the staff to EFCC. Yeah, so in case you don't have it, go and settle it now. Except you want to remain poor. If you want to operate in hundreds of millions and billion, all this is no more negotiable. Then you will now say, okay, EFCC, this is the staff I have employed for compliance. Then they will now train that staff. That staff will now go for training with EFCC. Then they will now come, all the directors of the company, they will now train all of you too. Are you seeing why you have to be here for tax summit? It's no more business as usual. That's why we are doing it, so that it's not the next week. Pastor, pray. Pastor, we are telling you now. Those of you that are arguing with tithe and offering, God don't catch it now. Go they argue with tax. So yes, it will be easier for the authorities to track compliance, but again, your bank balance will not be taxed. Profit and income are what will be taxed. Number 7, will I pay tax on the loan I borrow from Fair Money or any lender? You know yourself. That one that they will now be calling everybody, sending text to people. No, loans are not taxable, given that they are not income. However, the interest income earned by Fair Money will be taxed at their own hands. So if you go and borrow money now, that money you borrowed, even though it came to you like an income, it is not considered an income because it is a loan. But now the person giving you the loan, if the person collects interest from you, they will now pay tax on the interest they collected from you. But the question is, how will we know that the money that came to you is a loan? Are you seeing where record comes in? So, sorry, having 2 million, man. Hey, yeah, 2 million, just send me 2. Just borrow me 2 million. And then the person now sent 2 million to you, and he didn't write loan there. He now sent 2 million as discussed. What were we discussing? And they are now trying to tell them that it's loan. What is the document that backs up the loan? So if someone is giving you a loan and it is not a statutory or organizational or loan from any, it's maybe one-on-one, have a document. It can even be WhatsApp, you print it out, you file it with the dates. Number 8, I run a one-man business. Do I pay personal income tax or company income tax? We are going deeper now. Now listen, if registered as an enterprise, business name, you will pay personal income tax. If registered as a limited liability company, then you pay company income tax. Now what's the difference? Now listen, when you want to register a business in Nigeria, you can go and do what we call registration of business name. When you do registration of business name, it is cheaper. That registration of business name makes you to do business legally with that name. But there are advantages and disadvantages. Now, one of the disadvantages of the registration of business name is that that business and you are still like the same person. So that is why you pay personal income tax. If that business gets into trouble, you are in trouble. If that business has liability, the liability is on you. But now if you do incorporated, you register your business as a limited liability company. That company is an entity. You are an entity. If that company is owing, you are not owing. Nobody can come and meet you that you are owing them money because it is the company that he is owing. So for that one, you can earn from that company and do payee. Or you earn from the company and do personal assessments. But that company will now pay company income tax, not you. And if that company does not make profit, the company will not pay tax. So if there's no income, there's no tax. So that's why you have profit before tax, profit after tax. You have gross profit, you have net profit. All these are things that you can now understand if you're a business person. Now, number 9, if I sell shares and make profit, will I pay tax in 2026? No. As long as the shares you sold are not more than 150 million in value. These are part of the good aspect of it. It's a very good law if you study very well. So this one now, if you sell all your shares, as long as you have not made 150 million, you are not paying any tax. It's free money. So you see now, this is why it will be good for you to begin to consider stockbroking now, to start buying shares. Because any money you are using to buy shares now, when you are getting your money back, as long as the shares you sold is less than 150 million, is tax free. And the gain is not above 10 million. You know that the money you sold is 150, no tax. But if they now look at how much did you gain, if the gain you made is not more than 10 million, no tax. But anything above that 10 million, they will tax you. So that's, however, if it is higher than this threshold, the gain becomes taxable. So what that means is, if for instance now you sold now 150 million, you are not paying taxes. But if inside that 150 million, maybe when you bought the shares, it was 142, and now it's 150, you have only made a profit of 8 million, no tax. But if when you sold it, and when you bought it was 110, and now it's 150, you know you have made a profit of 40 million. So you will now remove 10 million. Then the remaining 30, you will now be taxed on it. Do you understand now? So those are the reasons why you need a tax consultant. So those of you that are accountants, that are tax professional, a new market has opened for you. So go and register yourself, position yourself, so that you can become a personal tax consultant, you can become a personal financial advisor. So a new business is opening up now for people in the financial sector to become tax consultants and financial managers for individuals and for family. 10. I'm a pensioner. Will my pension income be taxed in 2026? No. Approved pension and retirement benefits are exempt from tax. Did you know the use of the word approved? Approved pension. So that is why, you know, we already have the pension fund administrators. So if you have a pension fund administrator and you went through the process either as a government staff or as a private staff, and you have a PFA that manages your fund, nothing will be deducted. 11. Are military salaries taxable? No. The salaries of military officers are now tax exempt. So if you want to make money now, go and join military, join police, join soldier, join navy, join Air Force. So when you join any, because they want to encourage people that are serving us to, these are the good parts. People that are serving us, risking their life for us, any money, how much are they really paying them? That they will not be taxing them again. So there is no more tax for every one of them. So all of you that have these people in your family, more money in their pockets. Do creatives, authors, musicians, sportsmen still enjoy tax exemption on foreign income? No. They must now pay Nigerian tax on their income earned within Nigeria and outside. Now, this was for all those social media influencers, creative that are making noise. I do $100 million. I do YouTube is paying me. Facebook is paying me. You better watch your mouth now. Because as YouTube is paying you, Nigeria want to collect their portion. So before now, if you're an author like me now, my book is on Amazon, my book is everywhere. So all of us, we know ourselves. We that are making money in different currencies, we have already prepared ourselves. So musicians, any money they make outside Nigeria, they don't normally pay tax. So they have account abroad, they'll keep the money there, come to Nigeria. But now, anywhere you have money, by yourself, report yourself. Are crypto gains taxable? Yes. So profit from crypto, NFTs, and other digital assets are now taxed. So don't say my own is cryptocurrency, is a crypto wallet, I'm going to hide the wallet. There is no hiding any wallet, or the wallet into jail. 14. Who is exempt from personal income tax? Individuals earning the national minimum wage or less, and those earning below 800,000 annually are now exempt from tax. So if the money you are earning every year is less than 800,000, what's the minimum wage in Nigeria now? 70,000. 77. Okay. So if you are earning minimum wage or less, no tax. 800,000 per annum or less, no tax. So if you are working in different organization, you put it to now sit down to look into how to calculate that. What are the new progressive tax band? Where is that one now? The new progressive tax band. Okay. It's not showing the media. Let me go here. Okay. Is there a way you guys can bring it to the middle for me? Let me, so that I can be more legible for me to see. Okay, thank you. Now, this is the new bracket now. So if you earn 0 to 800,000 every year, you will not pay taxes. Do you understand? These are the good parts now. Another good part. If you earn between 801 to 3 million every year, your tax will be 15%. Why are you doing that? Should you argue about tithes? Go and argue about that one. If you are earning 3 million and 1 to 12 million, 1 million per annum, your tax is 18%. If you are earning 12 million and 1 to 25 million per annum, your tax is 21%. If you are earning 25 million and 1 to 50 million, your tax is 23%. If you are earning 50 million and above every year, you are in 25% bracket. So by the time you are saying, oh Lord, give me a portion of the land, that's 25 plus 10. So 35 is gone. You pay government 25, you pay God 10. So those of you that are arguing with tithe, this pastor, they have time, no problem. Face government. I'm going to be arguing. Or you choose to remain poor and remain at 800,000 so that you just be a poor man. Say, I don't want to pay tax. Are you seeing why you should be ready now? So you need to have prosperity mind. All these poverty mindsets, they say give, you don't want to give, you must rise above that. Because when you are making billions, 25% will not be anything, 10% will not be anything. Tell your neighbor, say, come out of poverty. So 16. If I get a big severance package, when leaving my job, will I pay tax on it? You won't pay tax if it is 50 million or less. But if it is more, then the extra amount will be taxed using the progressive tax band in number 15. What does this mean? You work in an oil company, you work in a multinational, you work in a company and you are living, and they say, this one that you are living now, we want to bless you. This is your package to go. They now bless you with package. That package they are blessing you with, as long as the package is below 50 million, there is no tax. But if the package is above 50 million, let's say they bless you with 55 million, the 50 million, there is no tax. Then that 5 million on top, you will now go back to that former scale and check which percentage you will pay. If they bless you with 300 million, you will now remove the 50 million. The remaining 250, you will now pay 25% of that 250. Are you saying, I don't be give, they give you. 17. If I earn dividends or rent from abroad, will Nigeria tax it? Listen very well. Dividends, interest, rent, royalty earned from outside Nigeria are exempt from tax, provided they are brought into Nigeria through approved. Hello, are you seeing this angle now? They wanted to bring the money. And guess what? When you are bringing the money, what's the approved channel? Through the bank to bank transfer. So you will do it. That will help the exchange rate. It will help foreign income. So they are encouraging you to repatriate the money back to Nigeria. Number 18. If a soldier or anyone in the armed forces gets injured in service and start receiving disability pension, will it be taxed in Nigeria? No. Disability pensions earned by the soldier or anyone in the armed forces will completely be tax exempt. 19. My uncle wants to start an agricultural company next year. Will his company be taxed in Nigeria? No. Agricultural company such as those in crop production, livestock, forestry, dairy, cocoa processing, will enjoy a 5-year tax holiday from the day they begin operation. Everybody go to farm. Everybody go to farm. This is one of the best one. You know, I'm a farmer now. I've launched my palm tree. I've launched my palm tree business. So from 2026 to 2031, no tax. I'm into farming now. You never hear Madiba palm tree. I'm into palm tree now. I'm a farmer now. So you have to look for how to just go. So because what they want is everybody Operation Feed the Nation. Let's all go into farming to feed our country. So all of you that are not doing farming, better rush into farming now. Number 20. Is income from federal or state government bond taxable? No. All government bonds are exempt from tax. Are you seeing where you should be putting your money now? So you buy shares, you do bonds, federal bond, state bond, you do farming, real estate, anything farming, real estate, you put your money there. So these are how you know where to put one. That's how rich people think. They look for the way. And then, so immediately I said, so yeah, come on, we're going to farming. Start. That's what, so by January now, me, I'm launching my farm company. Hello. Now, 21. What does rent relief entail under the new tax law? I'll leave this one in the middle again now. Rent relief. Guys, please help me bring it here. Okay. Please listen. From 2026, individuals can claim rent relief of 20% of the annual rent paid, but capped at 500,000. So, as an individual, when you want to do your taxes, whatever rent you are paying every year, government is now saying 500 out of your rent, remove it, no tax, which is very good. Some of you, so if your rent is 500, by the time you remove 500 from your salary and everything, you see how more money will come. Now, for instance, if your yearly rent is 5 million, 20% will be 1 million. But the law caps it at 500,000. To enjoy this relief, you must declare your actual rent and provide the details to the relevant tax authority. So all of you that are renting house without agreements, no receipts, they just collect money, agent go collect, they just packing. No, make sure everything is documented because the deduction must be proven with documents. 22. I earn 6 million yearly. Will I be better off under the new tax law? So let's look at this one too and see what happens. So under the old law, 20% of 6 million is what? 1.2 million. Plus 200K equals to what? 1.4. Taxable income is now 6 million minus 1.4, you become 4.6. Applying old tax ban gives total tax of 896. Now, new law. Let's go to the, is it under the next slide again? Okay, next slide. So, inside the new law now, rent relief is 500, but you must declare the actual rent. Taxable income is 600, 6 million minus 5, become 5.5. Applying the new band, your first 800 is 0. You understand now? So you now remove the first 800 again. Your next 2.2 will be at 15%. Then the remaining 2.5 will be at 18%. So under the new tax law, your tax will now reduce from 896 to 780, saving you 116, and this will increase your net take home. Do you understand? But now, how many of you can do this calculation? That's why wherever you are working now, make sure your office sits down, everybody, account department, you all sit down on how to ensure that every staff of the company is benefiting from this maximally. 23. If my company's turnover is below 50 million, will I pay taxes? No. Small companies under 50 million turnover are exempt from taxes. Hello? So now, please listen, what does this mean? If your turnover every year is less than 50 million, your company will not pay tax. This is another good one. Your company will not pay tax at all. Zero. All you need is record. And you know that many of you, you are not doing 50 million, but you have to be ready to pay tax because you must do more than 50 million. Hello? Now, the other way, listen, is now, that means you may now have to have plenty companies. No, it's a tax summit now. We are here to tell you. So that means you can now have 4 companies. This company for this one, this company for this one, this company for this one, this company for this one. So that one that all your different things are coming into one account and there are different things you are doing is going to put you in trouble. Because some of you now, you are sewing clothes. The same you are a caterer. The same you are doing Uber. The same you are an influencer. Those are 4 different companies. But because you don't want to have plenty accounts, you are not understanding, you now open one account. Person, Uber money will enter, fashion money will enter, catering money will enter. So you now go and open Josephine Catering. That's one company. Hello? Josephus or Josephine Fashion Limited. No. They are different entities. Registered with different CSC number, different TIN number. It's a legal thing, it's not illegal. Do you understand? But let me now ask you, how many companies you want to open because of 50 million? If you want to be doing 50 billion, you see that sometimes of this is so. Just get ready for prosperity. Hello? 24. As a remote worker in Nigeria for an international organization, will I pay tax? Please get a microphone for my panelists. Yes, you will pay tax in Nigeria if the country where the international organization is based exempts your salary under a treaty of diplomatic arrangement. So, if you are working, those of you that work remotely and earn dollars from different countries, now, because you don't reside in that country, most of you, they pay you your full money without deducting tax. So, if that company you are working for in Germany, in Sweden, in Norway, in Canada, if that company does not deduct tax and they send all the money to you in dollars or naira here, you will pay tax. But if they have already deducted tax, because maybe they have a company policy to say, okay, every money that goes, so then when he comes here, you collect your document from them to prove that they have taxed you. That money will not be taxed. Finally, will a foreigner, any salary in Nigeria be taxed? No. If their employer is a startup or operates in tech or the creative arts, and their income is already taxed in their country of residence, so you can employ anybody to work for you in Nigeria as long as their country is collecting their tax. Nigeria will not collect their tax. And this also to help creative company, to help our economy and tech startup. So